All right, let's see. And it should show up right here. All right, close that. Okay, good. We are good to go. Make sure we got audio. All right, close that. Okay, good. We are good to go. All right, so I got some audio, so that's good. Good. If I need to turn the
Good, we
audio
are good
up,
to
just
go.
let me know. All right, so I got some audio. But right now, what I'm gonna do is we should be good. All right, so today I might take my jacket off because I'm already getting pretty warm. What I'm gonna do is I have this snowflake here that my wife found online, and we're just gonna piece it together. I already built one, so I already got the plans are already linked in the description if anybody wants to pick those up. But I've already built this one, so I've kind of got a better idea on how to do it. The second one did not go so well. Let's be real. How many of you guys have actually thrown a project across the garage? Because that's exactly what happened with this one. So here in a second, I'm gonna get this mic set up first, but we're gonna start putting this together. And I plan on making an actual video for this, so don't feel like you have to follow along for this right now. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these old brad nails that are stuck in this wood. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these brad nails out because again, this did not go as planned. I was hoping to have the video out last weekend, but it just didn't work out. So, um, if you're gonna just get started with these live streams, I don't know, just kind of get content on the channel. I am relatively new to woodworking. Um, I'm not new to being creative with the hands or whatever people would call this, but I was a fabricator for the longest time, and I got into the computer science world. And that's what I do for a living is computer science stuff. Um, but I kind of come back to my love for being hands-on, creative stuff, and that's where woodworking has kind of brought me into that. And my father is a woodworker as well, and so I don't want to say a woodworker, but he enjoys doing this kind of stuff. And he's a machinist by trade, but he's also kind of what pushed me in the direction of woodworking. So it's kind of nice. I got a nice new Hercules miter saw over there from Harbor Freight, and that thing has been a dream. My dad's hand kind of giving me hand-me-down stuff, for pretty much everything that I have. Air compressor, bandsaw back here, that miter saw down there. He's kind of giving me all of that. So, um, I kind of evolved from that. So anytime before I go to buy a new tool, I always ask my dad if he's getting rid of anything before I go out and drop money on whatever kind of tool whatever I'm chasing. The next big purchase is definitely going to be a dust collector because I do not have a dust collecting system. So that's going to be something I'm going to be chasing next. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, get these last few brad nails out of here. I do have the plans for this. I'll show you guys the plans here in a second. Let me get these last two brad nails out. My wife saw this online, thought it was really cute. Obviously, there were no plans for it, and by the time you search for the plans, the they want people want 10, $15 for a set of plans. And no disrespect on the hustle. I get it. It takes time, it takes effort to put these plans together, but my plans are always going to be free. That's the purpose of this channel because I feel like I feel like people deserve to have nice things and not everything needs to be monetized. Obviously, like we all have our dreams and ambitions, but I don't plan on. Maybe I will. I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it that hard, but maybe I'll try to sell some of this stuff. But as of right now, I'm just doing it for the love of woodworking and being creative. So, all right. So of course, there's two more over here. I might have to pull those off that side too. But yeah. So let me go ahead and rip these out. All right, there we go. Got those out of. I might have to take that one off and replace it. But let's go ahead and let me show you the plans. Like I said, links in the description for these free plans right here. I'm hoping you guys can see those. We're making this nice little star that you see in the background. And then obviously it's a pretty simple cut list. Nothing too extravagant, nothing too crazy. A couple angles in there, a couple bevels, whatever you want to call them. And that's pretty much it. So that's what we're going to go working with. So first things first, brad nails out of here, we're going to piece together this middle point where these middle boards all meet in the center for the X. That's what we're first going to put together. So I'm just double checking because again, I did throw this across the garage. Let's be real here. Everybody's been frustrated with woodworking projects every now and then, and you can't tell me. You'd be lying to me if you guys told me you never once have thrown a project across the garage. And I know you lying, so don't be lying to me. So let me go ahead and pop this one off as well. I'm practically starting from ground zero, just restarting on everything. I was kind of frustrated that night because these brad nails were too long and I tried making it work and I shouldn't have made it work and I did anyways and it just got me frustrated. I should have just put it down and walked away, but sometimes it happens. All right, so looking at that one, I might be able to, yeah, I can just pop that one back on there. These ones are still on there pretty decent. Not enough wood. That'll do for now. I'm not too concerned about it. Um, yeah. Now, I will say there were a couple pieces where they didn't go as planned with the brad nails, where they didn't go. I did not intend on having to drive nails in the center. I wanted everything kind of hidden, but with these weird angles, it's hard to do that. So let me go ahead and get the nailer out. Make sure I have the correct size nails in there as well. I think I'm doing 1.25 inches for these. It seems to work out the best. 1.25 inches. Because I'm using 3/4 inch. Well, it's obviously an inch wood. It started out as a 4x1, I believe that's what I had on the plans. I think it started out as 4x1, ripped it all down to 3 inches. And obviously, the board being 3/4 of an inch thick, you can't really use a 1 inch brad nail because it doesn't really grab a whole lot of meat at the end. But that's what I was using. And then I went up to, I think all I had was 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches. And 2 inches was obviously too much because of the angles. And I didn't want to blow through the side of the wood. But yeah, it is what it is. So but if you guys, again, I'm new here. I'm new to I'm not new to YouTube. I've done YouTube before, but I'm starting a new channel. Just kind of share my experience with woodworking. Again, I'm a relatively beginner, so if you guys got any comments or tips or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. Again, I'm kind of just doing this live to kind of start pushing content on the channel. I plan on making a video on how to put this together, and I also plan on making a video on how to make this easy, simple wooden Christmas tree out of one board. Super simple, super easy. I put that together in maybe an hour or so. And yeah, I think people liked it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to start piecing this together. So I think this is, let me just grab my plans here so I can reference it all. So I have my 20-inch board, and what I did is I marked a center line for 10 inches to meet in the middle, and that's the point at which all of these X's, all these little longer arms will go across. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of some of this stuff on the end. I have to use my utility knife and just kind of scrape off. Like I said, I tried putting this together, the glue and the wood kind of made for a bad time on my part. So I'm I am running out of glue. I would glue it together. Ha, no pun intended. Would glue it. I would glue this together, but I am pretty much out of glue. I ran out of that on my last piece, which is that snowman. So but yeah, I'm just gonna start brad nailing this together. The last leg, the last long leg of the snowflake is the hardest part, but I'll kind of talk you guys through on how I've kind of figured out like the best way to piece it together. So we're gonna kind of put this together with no glue. I don't want to, but I don't have glue. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm not running to the hardware store. Okay, so now I've got both sides of this board marked, so that way I know where I'm sending these nails through. Keep it easy, keep it straight, and boom. And see, there we go. Got a little bit of blow through there, little tear out on that nail. Again, these 1.25 inches, you got to be careful sending those through just because you will get that tear out right there because they are slightly longer, obviously, than the material. Obviously, I feel like you guys would all know this stuff. So, um, but yeah. So again, I am relatively new to woodworking. I do find it enjoyable. Um, it is very, I don't want to say relaxing, but I do find it to be enjoyable. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, get rid of this. And what I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to set up this over here as well. So let me do this. All right. So set this up over here and kind of push that back. Sorry. Kind of got other things going on right this second. All right. Let's see here. All right. All right. So yeah. So like I said, we're going to start piecing this together. I got a couple more. Again, I wish I had the glue, but I obviously don't. So I'll just kind of make do with what I have. If I have to, I'll add another brad nail or so, just to kind of for that added support. There we go. I feel like I'm gonna blow right through the back of that, but let's add one more right in the middle. There we go. And again, these are a little wiggly. The boards will be a little wiggly, but that's fine. When we add this middle triangle part, that's when things will stiffen up and it becomes a lot more solid. So don't be too concerned with that. Now, obviously, these end snowflake pieces are not supposed to be on right this second, um, which is fine. It's no big deal. I started putting it together. I figured out a better way to put this together, and that was to put these longer legs together first, put them on, and then after those legs are on, we'll put these triangle pieces in here, and that'll help maintain and stabilize these longer arms. And once those are stabilized, then we can get a better grip, and we won't, this whole thing won't fall apart. We'll keep those, it'll keep those stable, and then we'll be able to put these end branches on the snowflake. So, but yeah, so I'm also streaming on the old TikTok. TikTok, if you guys are new here, go over to the YouTube channel, follow that. You know what to do. I'm not the first guy to say it, but yeah, I'm trying to build up a following there as well to kind of share my progress through woodworking and go from there. Okay, so this is the point where I should have put. So right now I just have this one leg. I should have put this leg on first before I put this leg on, because then I could drive the nail through here. But since I didn't do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive nails through the sides of the snowflake. Again, I don't want to do that because I feel like it's ugly, but I really don't want to rip that other leg off at this point. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to kind of get in there. Again, these brad nailers are not the easiest things to get into these small little angles and cracks and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. Yeah, I don't. That might be not even be on there. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. See if I can. There we go. That's much better. Flip it over. Again, like I said, they're a little wobbly until you get them connected, but that's all right for now. Yeah, it's kind of just not even connecting. It's just blowing through. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and take these other legs apart. Like I said, I should have put that other leg on first. Doing this live, I'm kind of learning as I'm going. I'm not really trying to make it a video. I'm just more of just kind of putting it together and talking a little bit. So we'll see where it goes. And those are on there pretty good. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm really chewing this up at this point. This is definitely a learning point here rather than going for looks. I guess I could try shooting through. Like I said, it's kind of difficult getting that angle. Let's do this one more time. That might be a lot better. Okay. Yeah, I've chewed out pretty much a lot of this wood on this side, so I'm gonna take what I can get off of this. Oh, there we go. I'll add one more just for safety. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now I'll add this last leg here again. Same thing. I'm going to go right through the side of the board. I'm not going to, I don't really have an angle to, I really don't have an angle to come in from behind to kind of hide these nails. So I kind of just have to send it through the top. So that's what we're going to do. I don't like, let's see if I can do this. See if I can hold this up just a little bit. My fancy dancy table here is kind of lopsided, so I'm just gonna nail it on there. Really don't have a choice. Go. Flip it over. Try to do it without breaking it apart. We'll do it one more time. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right, now that's so crooked. That's so crooked. It's not even funny. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to. Oh, buddy. Oh, it's because I've got this end piece on here. That'll get better. It'll straighten itself up just like that after a while. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these center pieces in and see if that helps. See if it comes out to be a better build. Um, see if I can find the pieces. And see if it comes out to be a better build. I think one's longer and one's shorter. Those are both the same pieces. These all might be the same pieces here. There's one. Okay, perfect. Okay. This one's I'm gonna lay this back down, set it over here for now. Pretty straightforward. We're just gonna take those two pieces and then we're just gonna drive a brad nail through the top right into that end grain. I know it's not perfect. I know it's not ideal. I could probably drive one through this side, but again, I'm trying to avoid, really blowing the wood out here. So it's not like it's a structurally a structural piece of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just yapping at this point. All right. Again, I'm relatively new to this, so don't hate on me too bad in the comments. This would be so much easier if I had wood glue. Wood glue really does help keep the pieces together. Last thing I want to do is send one of these nails through my finger too, so. Ooh, that sounds like a misfire. One more time. There we go. That's better. That ain't going anywhere. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate that like that, and this will sit in there just like that. Now, when you put these middle pieces in there, obviously it's just a little bit easier. You can just go right through the sides until we get to the last one. The last one again is kind of tricky, but it's all right. We'll deal with that once we get there. So kind of just fix. Okay, that one's in there. Not going anywhere. All right. I'm telling you, this thing's a mess right now. This is why you do not throw your projects across the shop, across your garage, because they do not turn out great. I'm telling you, don't do it. Okay, there we go. All right, so first one down. Again, this one's looking pretty rough just because this is the one I threw across the garage. This one was the first one I built. And shockingly, you would think after you build the first one, the second one's going to get better because you learned a lot. No, that's definitely not the case here. Definitely not the case here. All right, so I got a bunch of long pieces. Here's another short and long. Okay. Now, the thing to remember when you're doing this too is at least when you're ripping down the sides, be careful to keep track of your pieces because if you don't, trust me, don't ask me how I know, you'll rip the wrong side of the board. Don't ask me. I don't want to hear nothing about it. All right. So what I'm going to do is just same thing, just rinse and repeat. We're just going to put these triangle pieces together and put them on there. Scoot that back just a little bit. Okay. Sounds like a misfire again. Maybe because I don't have the air compressor on because it's so damn loud. Um, but it might just be either a misfire from the tool or because of the fact that it's running out of air. So let's go ahead and do the opposite side now to kind of really try to balance this out and keep it together. All right. Piece that on there and it kind of just goes together. It really does. It's kind of nice. Go. Perfect. This side's definitely going to be the side that you don't see. That's for sure. Telling you, this thing is gummed up. It is not pretty. Not pretty at all. All right, so now let's do it again. Let's just keep getting these smaller pieces. So these are all the outer bands of the snowflake. There's a small one. Outer band, outer band, outer band. Small one, small one. Okay. All right. Gotta make sure I'm putting the pieces together the right way. Why does that look off? It feels like it's off because it is. There we go. Okay. Make sure I put it together the right way. Again, not having glue kind of makes this one a little bit harder to keep together, but it's really not too bad, honestly. It seems like a misfire every time, but yeah, weird. Still driving the nails, so that's good. But yeah, if you guys are new, TikTok again, I've got the YouTube live going as well. Feel free to swing over to YouTube if you would like to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it if you did. But again, no obligations. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to start again. This thing is wobbly because it is just not built to perfection. So now we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to put these, these two pieces together. And again, it's gonna be hard to get a brad nail in from the side, but you might. I believe when I put this one together, I was able to sneak it in here and kind of drive it more at an angle to really get that nail to stick and to keep this thing together. So I'll do the easy side first, where I don't have to worry about finagling and. All right, I'm gonna have to flip it over. That didn't even drive a nail. Where's my scrap piece of wood at? There it is. Yeah. Well, it's still got nails in there. It drove that time. Try one more time. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over, drive the nail from the other side. There we go. Okay, yeah, so I can finagle my brad nailer in here from the inside of this other triangle, and kind of send that at an angle, and it should catch. Yep, just like that. Perfect. Do the same thing on the other side, and she's not going anywhere. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the other points. Let me see something here real quick. Just seeing, kind of checking on chat, see if anybody's saying anything. Nothing? No? Good deal. Okay. Um, all right, so now I'm just going to continue on with these other parts and just keep piecing it together. So, that is that. So I got those. So how many do I need? I need 3 more. So there should be, I think I got another couple pieces over here. Yep, there it is. I missed it when I was grabbing the wood from earlier. So, okay, that one, this one. Those are scrap. Am I missing 2? Yeah, I think I'm missing 2 of them. Okay, well, let's see if I can find this other one over here real quick. There it is. All right, so we're good to go. I got all the pieces. I'm just gonna keep piecing it together and kind of go from here. The one thing I will say, the one thing I will say about a lot of these projects that I'm doing, I'm getting a lot of like reference from online. Like I like to look and see what other people are putting together, especially because I'm relatively new to woodworking in general. I want to see what other people are doing and how they're doing it and stuff like that. But I also want to try to do things different as well. And a lot of these I saw online, and a lot of them were AI generated. And my wife loves them. And with them being AI generated, they come with AI measurements. Well, those measurements are not even close to being accurate. So I use SketchUp to design all my prints, and there we go. I kind of have to do it all myself. And again, I had to learn that program by, relatively quickly, because I've done drafts. I was a draftsman before as well in an engineering department. So I was used to like AutoCAD and all of that. So it came relatively quick, but I found it to be really nice. I feel like every woodworker should use that because of the fact that it will save you so much time and so much wood. You don't want to be going out and trying a new project when wood is freaking crazy expensive. The price of wood is absurd. And last thing you want to do is be going out and trying a project on whatever kind of wood you got and it not work. Like you don't want to do that. So these angles aren't really matching up that well, but I don't think it's the angles themselves. I think it's just because I really screwed this project up by chucking it. Yeah. It's almost like that angle doesn't even match. That's all right. Well, again, this is more of just a test and just a learning, so I'm just kind of throwing it together, so we'll make it work best that we can. Okay. There we go. Obviously, I have no intention on selling this thing. This is just me putting it together, trying to salvage what I can out of it. Whether my wife decides she wants to put this in front of the Christmas tree or on the wall, who knows? This thing may not even see the light of day. I don't know. Maybe I'll just give it to somebody who thinks they would enjoy it. I don't know. It's not the prettiest one. This one's definitely a lot better. I know my wife really likes that one too, so we'll uh we'll definitely be saving that one. So all right, a couple more pieces here, a couple more triangles, and this thing is a lot more solid. Again, when you put these center pieces together, it just becomes so much more solid and intact. It's not going to fall apart on you as you're trying to flip it and finagle it and shoot these nails at weird angles. It's so much better. So I don't really need that third nail in there, but I'm doing that because I don't want this thing falling apart. And since I don't have glue, that's the reason I'm doing it. So, okay. It's gonna see if I can, yeah, it's just not, I don't know if that nail's long enough. It sure was. Good. Got it. All right. Let's get this other side. Perfect. She's not going anywhere. Okay. We'll get this last triangle put in, and then we'll start working on these outer bands on the outside of the snowflake. All right. Last one. I don't want to, hopefully you guys can see it. Hopefully I'm not blocking it with the camera here. Let me just slide this over here. Yeah, we're just driving the nails through the outside. Again, I know you're not supposed to drive brad nails or, nail things or screw things together through the end grain of the wood, but again, this isn't any kind of structural project. I'm not too concerned about it. It's not holding any weight, just a decoration. So I have had multiple compliments though on this one snowflake itself, just this one by itself. A lot of people have really enjoyed them. They're different. I haven't seen too many of them. Again, other than that one image online that my wife saw, I haven't really seen too many of them. I know I'm not the first person to do them. I know there's other people on YouTube who I know there's other people on YouTube that have done these because I've seen their videos, but it's just something you don't see a whole lot on. I know a lot of people try to sell their things. A lot of people try to sell their things on the Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Etsy or whatever, and I haven't seen too many of these online. So I'm not saying it's unique, but definitely not the first person to make one, and you know, not gonna be the last. So there we go. All right, so now we're gonna get to these stubborn outside parts. They're not too terribly crazy, but they're also not very fun to put together. So, excuse me. So we're just going to flip this around and start trying to drive these nails in. Um, I had a 1 inch block that I cut out, and I think I had this 1 inch, 2 inches. It was a 2 inch block, and I lined that 2 inch block with the edge of this 20 inch board and just measured in 2 inches and then drew that line, and that's where I was placing these. So they're already marked, so I'm not too concerned with doing it again. But with these, they're not terribly hard. Um, you're just going to go from the outside, similar to what we did with these inner triangles. We're just going to go from the outside angle and kind of just drive a nail in from the end. We'll see if we can get these to stick. Like I said, it is a little difficult. How was I able to do that one? Okay, okay. So the first ones are obviously a lot easier. It's the second ones that are more challenging. So let me see. Trying to get in a nice position here to nail these in. It's kind of it's just difficult. Just got to keep rotating and figure out what works for you, and just drive it home. Yeah, so get that in there. Okay. Kind of tough. Kind of tough. I don't like the way that looks. Brad nail didn't go all the way through. This one, I feel like they just went together, no problem at all. No problem at all. This son of a gun, though, I tell you what. Let's push that. There we go. Like I said, adding glue definitely adds a lot more support to these. So that definitely helps quite a bit. Add another nail here. There we go. Just trying to make these a little bit better. Yeah, see that one? This thing, cheaper Harbor Freight nail gun, not terrible. It's a good beginner tool, and that's exactly where I'm at. All right, let's go right there. Hey, shot another blank. Crazy. There, got it. Just really securing this thing down out of nails. All right, let me grab some more nails real quick. Again, I'm using 1.25" nails. It's what I found to be the best for this material. Again, being 1" material, 3/4 actual thickness. These 1.25" are working out great. That was not supposed to happen. Try that again. Got caught up there on the inside. There we go. Perfect. I know I lost 1/4 of those. There we go. Take this other one. I'm just gonna do this one first and just make them do the easy ones first. It's what makes it easy. So kind of go at an angle, avoid that hair out on the other side. Line it up just like that. Okay. Flip it over. So we'll do this side. Go. Okay. Now put the last 4 on, and it is done and complete. It definitely is frustrating doing this stuff, being new to it. And uh, again, I'm not new to like building things, but when it comes to wood is definitely a lot more unforgiving than metal. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as a fabricator, like you mess something up, cut something too short, something doesn't fit just right, easy fix. Okay, this one's going to be more challenging because I've got the snowflake itself pretty much done. So trying to put this in at an angle. Yeah, see, it wasn't all the way down. That's why it's making that noise. But it's got enough in there to at least hold it on so I can drive another nail through here. Like I said, adding that wood will really... There we go. That's much better. Adding the glue will definitely help stabilize it and keep it in a position so you can drive the nail. Without the wood glue, it just makes it that much harder. There's no friction there, so... Again, with these, it definitely takes a little bit of practice. And I definitely feel like this is a good skill. This is a good build to build your skills on using the brad nailer in very uncomfortable positions. Like I said, you don't want to send one of these things through your finger, trust me. Go. See, that one didn't go all the way in, but try one more time. There we go. I might pull that one out afterwards or cut it down or something. Last one. Last one. Okay. Yeah, like I said, if you guys got any comments, suggestions, tips, or anything, please let me know. I'm all ears. I'm all ears for it. I'm always open to criticism and constructive criticism. Constructive is the word. the key word there. Don't come in here acting like you're some builder from with 3,000 years experience. Relax. Relax, Kyle. We get it, okay? You can use a hammer. All right, so that's it. I got it all together. Let me go ahead and, like I said, this one did not go together nearly as easily as the other one. I wouldn't trust this one with much. Again, this one also has mixed wood in it. There were I shop at one specific um, hardware store that has like better quality wood, and so I spent a little bit more money on that better quality wood, but I got the wrong size, so I had to use some scrap that I had laying around, and it's just not the quality of that scrap is not as good. But this stuff is better. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to make a video on these stars. And I'm also going to make a video on how to build this tree as well. I don't know if you guys can see this tree. I'll just cover it with, let's just start over here. But yeah, there's this Christmas tree that I built. Super easy, much, much, much easier than these stars or these snowflakes. But I love the way these snowflakes look. Very nice. But I'll make a video on the tree and I'll make a video on the snowflake. And again, the plans are linked and they will be linked in the description in my YouTube video. So TikTok, if you guys have not, go check out the YouTube channel. Here is the plans. TikTok, here you go. You know, these are the plans. YouTube, here you go. These are the plans. I'll put them in the link in the description on the video here in a bit, and you guys can go print them off, do whatever. Again, they're free. I'm never going to charge for my plans because I feel like everybody deserves to have nice things without having to pay for it, especially in this economy. You guys all know how that goes. So I do appreciate everybody watching. I do appreciate any comments that may or may not have missed. Again, if you have any tips, tricks, anything, put them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. But until next time, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go ahead and end this video. Oh, here we go. Until next time, guys.